welcome to Goma, largest city in eastern side of DRC. Actually, North Kivu province, including Goma, the most dangerous region in Africa, due to armed group called M23 expanding its territory surrounding Goma. We're actually overwhelmed by the atmosphere where NGO car parked in the airport.
And then they took the name of the agreements, of the dates of the agreements. That was March 23, 2009, and they called themselves M23 Movement. This where the name started by.
Kwa ajili ya kujikinga na magonjwa ya mpox.
M23 rebels are advancing in the east of the Democratic Republic of the Congo after capturing two key cities. In January, the Rwanda-backed group took Goma in North Kivu province, and on Sunday, they pushed the Congolese army out of South Kivu's provincial capital, Bukavu.
People in Democratic Republic of Congo have seen this before, and they're angry. In the capital, Kinshasa, protesters set fire to several embassies, including those of Rwanda, France, and the US. In the east, pro-Rwandan forces took control of the city of Goma after days of fighting.
Democratic Republic of Congo, which is often known as DRC, located in the heart of Africa and second largest country in Africa, home to over 100 million people. It holds some of the richest natural resources on Earth, such as cobalt, gold, diamonds, and vast rainforest. Yet many of its people live in poverty, battling ongoing instability. Displacement situation in the Democratic Republic of the Congo is the most complex and long-standing humanitarian crisis in Africa, and the fourth largest internally displaced persons crisis in the world. Especially, the eastern part of DRC has been insecure for many years, including during the civil wars in the 1990s. The situation has gotten worse since the end of this January. According to the United Nations, about 3,000 people were killed in Goma, Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, when the city was captured by a rebel group called M23, following a day of violent battle with the Congolese army.
If peace comes back in this area, this will be one of the most beautiful touristic places in the Congo.
Bonjour, comment ça va? Good morning from Kinshasa, capital city of DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. And today we actually live in Kinshasa. So we're gonna take a flight. We're gonna go to the place called Goma, eastern part of country. I'll try to let you guys see the different aspect of the country we can't see here in the capital. The most careful boarding. There are many people who are not gonna take a flight inside airport to help passengers. That way they try to get the money from them. This is the most careful check-in, with the airport being fully packed with the passengers. It's gonna take us to Goma, the place we are going.
11 heures passées de 25 minutes à une heure locale, nous venons d'atterrir à Goma. La température extérieure est de 24 degrés Celsius. Veuillez ne pas détacher votre ceinture de sécurité et de ne pas quitter votre siège jusqu'à l'arrêt complet de l'appareil et des réacteurs. Nous avons été très heureux de vous accueillir à bord de cet Airbus à 300.
Bonjour, comment vas-tu? Good morning, guys. Welcome to Goma, largest city in eastern side of DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. Now we are in the accommodation where we're gonna stay during our stay in Goma. Once we get to Goma, we're actually overwhelmed by the atmosphere where NGO car parked in the airport. Because actually, North Kivu province, including Goma, where we are now, is considered to be the most dangerous region in Africa due to armed group called M23 expanding its territory surrounding Goma. Okay, so here's Charles, my local guide. He also traveled to Goma all the way from Kinshasa together. So Charles, could you briefly explain what armed group M23 is and what caused the intense situation around Goma?
The M23 group is quite complicated to explain and very huge. Basically, the movement. So there was a militia that started with people, mainly Tutsi, coming from Rwanda and Tutsi from these regions.
Tutsi is the name of the ethnic.
It's ethnic group.
Uh-huh.
So it was mainly composed by Tutsi that felt marginalized in Congo because apparently they weren't from their region. They came from the genocide that happened in Rwanda in 1994. And those people felt marginalized and started a militia. That was 2009. The government signed a peace agreement with those militia. So at that time they weren't called M23. The M23 came from the dates on which they signed that agreement. It was on March 23, 2009. They gave them an area to live, and they started living in DRC. Eventually, things continued to happen. In 2012, they rised again and created a rebellion movement, and then they took the name of the agreements, of the dates of the agreements. That was March 23, 2009, and they called themselves M23 movement. This where the name started by. In 2012, they occupied Goma for like 10 days before being moved by the army. In 2013, they were kicked out of Congo and of Goma, and we all thought that the movement ceased. It wasn't before until 2017 we started hearing about the movements coming back and killing some people in some areas. I think in May 2022 they came back and started attacking government positions, army positions. That's where everything started again and started to worsen. And as of now, they're getting more powerful, more powerful. That's why the government is suspecting other nations such as Rwanda and some nations to support them with munitions, with guns, with army equipment, because if it wasn't that, they couldn't be such as powerful as they are. And they're getting even richer because the regions they take, those regions contains minerals, natural resources, so they can eventually exploit them and sell them, making them pass by neighbors countries to be sold. And as for today, they are controlling randomly positions around Goma, North Kivu province, and they usually tensions between government, the national army fights against them.
So Charles explained to me things happening here seems to be really complicated. It's quite difficult to comprehend everything at all once because the issue is caused by some factors such as ethical groups, mining resources, both DRC and Rwanda governments. There are many factors involved in this issue. So with that being said, North Kivu, Goma is very known for a touristic place. You see the lake just behind us. Do you know what's the lake called?
This is the Kivu Lake.
Kivu Lake. Is it one of the biggest lakes?
One of the biggest.
And there's an island inside the lake,
There's,
right?
Many islands actually.
So yeah, it's quite a shame that bad incident prevent tourists from coming to visit this area, although the place is very rich in nature things, and it's very challenging for us to film here because of the situation. We're on the process to get the film permissions. We try to let you guys see what's going on in this area as possible.
Banane. Bonjour. Tu veux bonjour.
Eti muloko ni sawa. Monsieur kuya. Ausema tena merci.
Nishamwambia.
Thank you, say thank you.
Thank you.
Ngani baka.
Can you ask
Muloko.
him if
Unacheka?
they go to school?
Unasikia? Na unacheka. Ucheke sana. Cheka monsieur.
Okay. Okay. Au revoir. Au revoir. Bonne journée. Bonne journée.
Toka makonzi.
Hapa tunanawa mikono kwa ajili ya kujikinga na magonjwa ya mpox. Hapa tunanawa mikono kwa ajili ya kujikinga na magonjwa ya mpox.
So that they can bring the mpox.
Hapa tunanawa mikono kwa ajili ya kujikinga na magonjwa ya mpox.
So we just came to the University of Goma, where actually one of the staff in World Vision connect us to one of the professors who's working here, and he's now helping us to get a film permission. We're now waiting for him in cafeteria in the university and having lunch. Is the food stuff the very traditional in here in Goma?
If you can see them, they are used potatoes that grow in Goma. Yeah. The lenji are good for potatoes.
And these are beans, a kind of beans that grow
In Goma, especially in the eastern parts.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't find that these in Kinshasa.
Oh, yeah.
These are beans.
Okay.
But you still can find the potatoes in Kinshasa, but not as big as this one.
I didn't expect that in the University of Goma, the first day having traditional food. My first day in Goma, in the eastern part of DRC. To illustrate the severity of the situation, I was truly astounded at the huge number of military and NGO vehicles. On the contrary, I find it emotional to watch those who are forced to live in such uncomfortable environments. In the next videos, I got a deep dive into Goma, the eastern part of DRC, showing you the reality that hasn't been portrayed in media.